Start of EOO, when the trigger happens here, you want to keep walking until you can jump at about this point, so that when you strafe around the corner, you'll land about here-ish. This is so that the spacing is good, because if you space wrong, you can actually jump about here. You see it with a little increase in height, and you can get stuck on this, and it will stop your momentum. So overall, it will just look something like this. Like that. So you should be bunny hopping out of here, and then after this jump, you jump one more time, go slightly to the right, then turn around and hold S. Then fire about near the top, fire orange here, and then peak to here. Just doing it like that just gives you the widest angle to hit. So when you get to here, you bunny hop down like normal, but when you do the first jump here, you jump and then immediately save after jumping, and that gives you a really safe spot. So the reason this save is safe is because when you load, there's a 1 second portal delay. So saving at that point means that you don't have to worry about that delay, because you can fire immediately upon getting to the position where you normally would. The first two shots are the same as normal piston, except you fire in a slightly more specific location on the second shot. And also make sure you fire the opposite of what you fired on the floor for the second shot, so that you can peek onto the leftmost panel there. And you can also fire on the middle panel here as well if you want to, which just gives a slightly different lineup for the next shot afterwards. Right, before I get into how to do it, I just want to quickly show you this is what it looks like when you crouch on a piston. And this is how you can land mikael shot without it being precise in timing, rather than it's just precise in aim. The first shot of mikael shot, you want to make sure that you place this near the front and not too angled. And then you place this shot normally, but then you turn around like this and then aim slightly to the left at the bottom of the portal, and you should be able to line up the shot and then do the crouching trick I just explained earlier. And then this is what the alternate setup looks like for the next shots, where you fire to the left panel instead of the middle panel. So you fire through that little crack, and sometimes you can hit a dead zone there, so be careful. Now I just want to quickly go over the fact that if you back up into the back of the pool for mikael shot, you can come out of the pool stood up instead of crouched, which saves a bit of time for aiming the next shot, and also means you end up closer to this portal on the wall behind you, so you can back up into it faster. So the first shot you peek like that, then you move and stop yourself, which is where you press the opposite direction key to stop your speed, such momentum on the floor, and you aim just anywhere on the ground to there. Switch portals, because it's easier to not peek that. Then peek the next shot, and then you peek the next shot to there. And after this, you walk over, you crouch, you fire at the top of that wall, then walk into the ground and fire your upper portal and then strafe to the right. For this variant, you peek this portal again. This time you fire at the top of this bit instead. Again, switch portals. Then you want to fire in this section of the piston around this area of the portal, and you want to try and aim to the left a bit, because it makes the next shot after you peek a little bit easier to aim for, since there's a little bit of a wider angle to aim. And then for this shot, you want to aim right past the shadow, basically on the edge of that shadow. And then you can walk straight out, crouch, switch portals again here, and then turn around and then just walk straight through this portal instead of firing at the floor. So you peek this shot for the first time, but instead of switching, you press up against the wall, and then peek this shot here, which can make the aim a bit easier. And then the rest of the shots are the same afterwards, except the portal order is different because you didn't switch portals on the previous shot. This does not mean, though, that these shots are different. These shots are still the same, since you don't have to peek a shot or go back through any other portals. You just fire the same shots you want to in any order you want, and then go through the floor again. So the first shot is still a peek, and then here you press up against the wall again, and then fire at the top, but peek it instead. And then these two shots are the same, but the last shot of this setup is different because of the portal order difference. You have to fire blue or the other color than what you usually do with the other strat instead, since you peeked the second shot instead of switching colors. I want to mention this applies to both the floor strafe and the jump out of this pool. So the first thing, you jump, then you jump again, like that, then you walk for a tiny bit, fire your blue pool, then you jump again, jump on the edge of the pipe, then fire the portal down, and then jump off of the portal, then strafe back onto the pipe, and then just bhop to the end however you want. So you do the same thing here, you jump through or fall through, you do a really hard strafe, then basically fire as soon as you can see that wall, then immediately turn around, jump on the edge of the pipe immediately, and then do the same shot, jump and strafe in as the other strat. Also want to quickly mention at the end here, depending on your spacing, you'll get different results. So I clear the railing here, and the next one I hit the edge but still go through. But if you get really bad strafes, you won't be able to make it over the railing at all. So you'll need to anticipate that and then jump late. Otherwise this can happen.